Sweet ladies and handsome gentlemen, have you ever noticed that the world remembers the ones who refused to fit in? Not the ones who played it safe, but the ones who broke the rules, followed their own path, and stood boldly in their truth. The world doesn't celebrate the average, it celebrates the audacious, the different, the bold. Think about it. Steve Jobs wasn't applauded for doing what everyone else was doing. Oprah Winfrey didn't rise by following the script. Malala Yousafzai didn't inspire millions by staying silent. They succeeded because they dared to be different. And in a world that constantly pressures us to conform, choosing to be different is an act of boldness. That boldness, that's where success lives. We grow up being told to follow the crowd, blend in, don't stand out, keep your head down. But let me ask you, has playing it safe ever made anyone truly great? The truth is, conformity might bring comfort, but it will never bring greatness. Success isn't found in imitation, it's found in innovation, and innovation demands boldness. Being different isn't easy. In fact, it's hard. It means stepping into the unknown. It means going left when everyone else is going right. It means risking failure, rejection, and even ridicule. But here's the secret. Every bold step you take builds the life most only dream about. The price of greatness is discomfort, but the reward is beyond measure. There is something inside you that the world has never seen before. A unique voice, a bold vision, a spark no one else possesses. But if you hide it, if you bury it to blend in, you rob the world of something powerful. And more importantly, you rob yourself of your own potential. Daring to be different means giving yourself permission to live authentically. It means creating your own lane when none exists. It means standing tall in rooms where people try to shrink you. It means being brave enough to say, this is who I am, and I'm not afraid to show it. In this speech, we'll dive deep into what it truly means to live boldly and be different. We'll explore the power of uniqueness, the courage it takes to break barriers, how to handle criticism and self-doubt, and how living boldly creates a legacy that impacts generations. If you've ever felt like you don't fit in, good. That's your gift, not your flaw. The people who changed the world never fit in. They stood out, and it's time you did too. So I challenge you today, dare to be different, because success doesn't come to the quiet, the passive, or the hidden. Success comes to the bold. Every person on this earth is born with something extraordinary, uniqueness. From the pattern of your fingerprints to the tone of your voice, there's not a single copy of you in the entire world. And yet somewhere along the way, society teaches us to silence that uniqueness, to tone it down, to fit in, to follow instead of lead. But the truth is, what makes you different is exactly what gives you power. Look at the most successful people in history. What made them rise wasn't their ability to mimic others. It was their courage to embrace who they were and express it fully. They refused to trade authenticity for approval. They used their uniqueness as fuel, not a flaw. Take Albert Einstein, for example. He was told he was slow, a poor student. He didn't think like the others, and people saw that as a problem. But what others saw as odd, he turned into genius. Einstein's way of seeing the world, his different perspective, led to discoveries that changed science forever. He didn't suppress his uniqueness. He leaned into it. Or think about Lady Gaga, a name now known around the world, not because she copied what was popular, but because she owned her eccentricity, her music, her fashion, her personality. It broke every mold, and people noticed. She wasn't afraid to be different, and that made her magnetic. She stood out in a world that was crowded with sameness. The same is true for you. There is something inside of you, an idea, a style, a voice, a dream, that no one else has. That's not a coincidence. It's your calling. But to step into it, you have to stop hiding the parts of you that don't look like everyone else. You have to understand that your uniqueness is not something to overcome, it's something to unleash. But why do so many people shy away from their uniqueness? Because being different comes with risk. It means you might be misunderstood, you might be judged, you might fail, and yes, sometimes you will. But playing small and fitting in won't protect you from fear. It will just protect you from growth. And growth is where success lives. Your uniqueness is a tool, not a trap. It's the lens through which you solve problems, tell stories, build relationships, and make an impact. When you deny it, you become a watered-down version of yourself. But when you embrace it, you become unstoppable. You start creating instead of copying, leading instead of following, living instead of surviving. When you dare to be different, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light in a world that too often hides in the shadows of conformity. And believe me, the world doesn't need more copies. It needs originals. People who are unafraid to live boldly and speak truthfully. People who know that being different isn't being wrong, it's being real. Let's talk practically. How can you harness the power of your uniqueness? First, identify it. What do people come to you for? What lights a fire in your soul? What are your natural strengths? Your unique perspective often lives where your passion and your talent intersect. Second, protect it. Not everyone will understand your difference. Some will try to mold you into something familiar because it makes them more comfortable. But don't let their discomfort shrink your identity. Stand firm in who you are. Third, express it. Use your uniqueness in your work, your relationships, your voice. Let it guide the way you solve problems, the way you lead, the way you live. Let it be the reason you succeed, not the reason you hold back. You weren't born to be a copy. You weren't made to blend in. You were designed to stand out, to shine. And the moment you stop apologizing for who you are, you step into the power of who you were meant to be. Remember this, the people who have changed the world didn't do so by being average. They did it by being authentic, by being bold, by being different. So don't waste your uniqueness trying to be someone else. Embrace it, amplify it, own it, because your difference isn't your weakness, it's your destiny. There's a moment in every dreamer's life where a choice must be made, play it safe or take a bold step. And let me tell you the truth, every barrier that stands between you and success will only fall when you choose boldness. Caution might keep you comfortable, but only boldness will take you forward. We often think success is about talent, luck, or timing, but when you look closer, you'll see it's boldness that separates the good from the great. Boldness to try when others hesitate. Boldness to speak up when others stay silent. Boldness to start when others keep planning. Without boldness, dreams remain locked inside your imagination. But with it, you break barriers no one believed could move. Think of Rosa Parks. She didn't plan a national movement that day. She refused to give up her seat. She made one bold decision, and that single act of courage became a spark that ignited the civil rights movement. She didn't shout. She didn't argue. She just stood her ground. Boldness doesn't always roar, but it always moves mountains. The truth is, barriers are everywhere. Fear, failure, doubt, rejection, rules, critics, all of them will try to hold you back. But the bolder you are, the less power those barriers have. Why? Because boldness is about believing in the outcome more than you fear the obstacle. It's about deciding that your purpose is bigger than your comfort zone. Let's be honest, boldness is not the absence of fear. It's action in the face of fear. Everyone feels scared. Everyone has doubts. But the bold don't let fear drive. They feel the fear and still move forward. That's the difference. Bold people don't wait to feel ready. They act, and readiness follows. Look at entrepreneurs like Elon Musk. Do you think he knew for sure that SpaceX would succeed? No. In fact, it failed multiple times. But he dared to take a step that no one else had the courage to take. That boldness changed an entire industry. Or think about Serena Williams. She didn't just play tennis. She transformed the game with her fierce presence, powerful voice, and fearless spirit. Boldness breaks not just physical barriers, but cultural ones too. So, how do you become bold? First, shift your mindset. Stop asking, what if it goes wrong? Start asking, what if it goes right? Fear grows in your thoughts. Starve it by focusing on the possibilities, not just the problems. Second, take small risks daily. Boldness isn't just in big moves, it's in the little decisions. Speaking up in a meeting, asking the question, starting the conversation, posting the idea, applying for the opportunity. Every small act of courage builds your boldness muscle. Third, surround yourself with bold people. Boldness is contagious. When you're around others who dream big, take risks, and walk confidently, you begin to rise with them. Their energy rubs off. Their mindset challenges you to level up. Finally, stop waiting for permission. No one will hand you your breakthrough. No one will come along and say, now is the perfect time. It's not coming. The perfect moment is created, not found. You have to move before the world agrees. You have to bet on yourself, even when others are still watching in silence. Yes, people may doubt you. Yes, you may fail, but boldness guarantees growth. Every bold step teaches you something new about the world, about others, about yourself. You either win or you learn, and both move you closer to your vision. Remember this, most of the limits in your life aren't real, they're imagined. They're built by fear, by habit, by the opinions of others. Boldness breaks those imaginary walls. It shows you that you're stronger than you thought, that you're more capable than you believed. Boldness is a decision, a daily commitment to show up, stand out, and keep going, no matter what. So don't hide, don't shrink, don't wait. The world doesn't need more careful people, it needs more courageous ones. Your boldness could be the breakthrough someone else is waiting for. Your courage could open doors, not just for you, but for everyone watching you. So today, make the decision to be bold, in your actions, in your voice, in your dreams, because every barrier in your way is waiting for one thing, your boldness. Let's get real for a moment. The moment you dare to be different and step into your boldness, criticism will come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because when you rise above the norm, you challenge the comfort of others. And people don't always know how to respond to that. They'll question you, judge you, laugh at you. They'll say, "Who do you think you are?" And that's the exact moment when confidence becomes your armor. But here's the good news. Criticism is proof you're doing something worth noticing. Nobody throws stones at those who are standing still. The critics show up when you start moving, when your light begins to shine a little too bright for someone else's comfort. And while criticism can sting, it can also be a stepping stone to unshakable confidence, if you learn how to handle it. Think about every icon who changed the world. They were all doubted. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for TV. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. These aren't just setbacks, they were attacks on their identity. And yet they didn't let criticism define them. They turned it into fuel. So how do you do the same? How do you turn judgment into strength and rejection into power? First, understand the source. Not all criticism is equal. Some comes from people who want to see you grow. Constructive, caring, honest feedback that helps you improve. But a lot of it, it's projection. It's people speaking from their own fear, jealousy, or insecurity. When someone says, "You can't," what they usually mean is, "I couldn't." When they say, "That's impossible," they're speaking from the limits of their own vision, not yours. You must learn to filter the noise, take what helps, and leave the rest. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't mean it deserves a place in your mind. Confidence begins when you stop letting everyone else write your story. Second, build an inner foundation. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to brag or prove. Real confidence is quiet, grounded, and resilient. It comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. It's rooted in self-awareness and purpose. When your identity is clear, criticism doesn't shake you. It sharpens you. You stop chasing approval and start owning your path. This doesn't mean you'll never feel hurt by judgment. You're human, but you don't have to let those feelings control your direction. You can feel the sting and still move forward. You can be doubted and still rise. Third, reframe rejection as redirection. Not every no is a wall. Sometimes, it's a sign pointing you to a better door. Every time someone says you're not good enough, not ready, not capable, use it as a challenge, not a conclusion. Let it light a fire in you. Let it push you harder, farther, deeper into your purpose. You know what builds the strongest confidence? Experience. Showing up again and again, even after you've been told you can't. Every time you keep going despite the critics, your confidence grows. Not because someone said you're great, but because you proved it to yourself. And here's something powerful. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you. Not your doubters. Not your followers. Not your friends or family. You. If you believe, you'll keep going. And if you keep going, you'll get better. And when you get better, success becomes inevitable. Criticism can either be your cage or your catalyst. You choose. Yes, it takes strength to be different. It takes courage to be bold. But it takes true inner power to face judgment with grace and keep walking in confidence. Not arrogance, not defensiveness, but calm, unwavering belief in yourself. And here's the beautiful thing. When you embrace your difference and build your confidence, you inspire others to do the same. You become living proof that it's possible. You become a mirror for those who are still hiding. Your boldness becomes someone else's permission. So let the critics talk. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. You're not here to please them. You're here to lead. And leaders are often misunderstood at first. But in time, they're respected. And eventually, they're remembered. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be confident in your imperfection. Show up boldly. Speak up fiercely. Walk forward humbly. And let your confidence make the noise that your critics can't silence. Because at the end of the day, it's not the criticism that defines your future. It's your confidence. Every bold decision you make, every courageous step you take, every time you dare to be different, you're not just shaping your own life. You're shaping your legacy. Legacy isn't something you leave behind only after you're gone. It's something you build every day, right now, with every word you speak, every action you take, every dream you chase. The way you live today writes the story others will tell tomorrow. When you choose to be bold, you send a message to the world
that says, it's okay to be fearless, it's okay to stand up, it's okay to rise above. Your boldness becomes a blueprint, and the impact you make isn't just about success, it's about significance. Ask yourself, what do you want to be remembered for? Playing it safe, blending in, staying silent, or do you want to be remembered as someone who lived fully, who led bravely, who lit a fire in others, by living unapologetically in your truth? The people who build lasting legacies didn't wait for perfect conditions, they didn't wait for approval, they acted when it was uncomfortable, they stood when it was unpopular, they pushed boundaries, opened doors, and carved paths where none existed before. Why? Because they understood something powerful. Greatness isn't inherited, it's created. Nelson Mandela could have stayed silent, but instead he chose bold leadership that changed an entire nation. Maya Angelou could have faded into fear, but instead she used her voice to inspire generations. Elon Musk, Malala Yousafzai, Muhammad Ali, these aren't just names, these are legacies, bold legacies, and every one of them was built by a person who dared to be different. You don't need to be famous to build a legacy. You don't need a big stage or a million followers. All you need is bold intention and daily action. You build legacy when you show your children what it looks like to never give up. You build legacy when you lead with integrity in your workplace. You build legacy when you use your voice to lift up others, to speak truth, and to challenge injustice. Legacy is made in moments, big and small, when you choose boldness over fear. Here's the truth. Someone is always watching, whether you realize it or not. Your courage gives someone else hope. Your decision to be different makes it safer for someone else to stop hiding. You might never hear it, but your example might be saving someone's dream. That's legacy. But legacy doesn't happen by accident. It takes clarity. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What do I believe in? What impact do I want to make? Then align your actions with those answers. Live boldly in your purpose. Speak boldly about your values. Act boldly in service to others. That's how your life becomes bigger than just your achievements. Remember, money fades, titles fade, awards collect, but character lasts, impact lasts, courage lasts. The world may forget your resume, but it will never forget how you made people feel, what you stood for, and how you inspired them to rise. Legacy also means planting seeds you may never see grow. It means doing good when no one is watching. It means fighting for change, even if it doesn't benefit you directly. It means thinking generationally. What you build now boldly becomes the foundation for others to build even higher. Let your boldness become a ripple effect. Be the kind of person whose presence brings courage to a room. Be the one who proves that different is powerful, and that fear can be defeated. Be the one who shows the next generation that authenticity isn't a liability, it's a legacy. Yes, being bold is hard. Yes, standing out invites criticism, but the cost of hiding is far greater than the cost of standing tall. Because when your time here is done, it won't matter who died. It won't matter who left. What will matter who left. What will matter is what you stood for, and who you lifted along the way. So today, commit to building a bold legacy. Not one based on fear, but one based on fire. Not one built to impress, but one built to inspire. Let them remember that you were the one who did, the one who didn't back down, the one who turned difference into destiny, the one who proved that success comes to the bold. So what have we discovered together? We learned that your uniqueness is not your weakness, it is your greatest strength. The world doesn't need more of the same. It needs you, the real you, the bold you, the version of you that isn't afraid to stand out, speak up and take up space. We talked about how boldness breaks barriers, how fear loses its grip when you take the first step. That success doesn't come to the ones who wait, it comes to those who act, risk and lead without permission. We looked at how criticism can either crush you or build your confidence. The voices that try to pull you down are often just echoes of their own insecurity, but confidence grows when you trust your path, speak your truth, and keep moving forward, regardless of who's close. And finally, we saw that boldness builds legacy, that living different, leading fearlessly, and staying true to your values doesn't just change your life, it changes the lives of others. You're not just chasing success, you're creating significance. And that, my friend, is how legacies are made. Let me leave you with this. You will be told to shrink, don't you? You will be told to wait. You will be told to follow. You will be told to follow. You were not born to be a shadow in someone else's story. You were born to be a light, brilliant, bold and blazing your own trail. If you want to rise, dare to be different. If you want to lead, dare to be bold. If you want to succeed, dare to believe that your difference is your destiny. You don't need the world's permission to be powerful. You don't need